Hey y'all, it's Colston here. Today is Tea Shop Monday, and I had it done at lunch again today with Rhonda because I had another shot scheduled for the afternoon. 2 shots in one day is not my deal, not both testosterone. However, I did reach out to my doc last week, at the end of the week, who has upped my T to 0.5 because that unwanted visitor is really not a visitor. I think they staked their ground, and they're going to stay every day, all day long, and all weekend long, where, I thought, I'm going to be anemic by the time this is all over. I've lost too much blood. I need a transfusion. It's going to be horrid. Anyway, so Doc suggested upping it. So today's shot at lunch with Rhonda, we did 0.5, and we shall see how that goes. So the topics I kind of wanted to look at today, some everyday things. You go to the courthouse, you are, you're going through the detector, and if anything comes up, of course, they're asking, do you have a belt? Do you have a necklace on? You got a pacemaker? All these sorts of questions, right? And so when it does scan something, and which in my case was a necklace, and I showed them, but yet the scan was coming up somewhere here, and so they had to do a pat down. And so the dude that was talking to me says, so the sensor shows something, right there. I was wearing a Batman shirt. So right where the Batman is, are you male or female? I loved it. So I thought, I'm just going to say it. I said, I'm currently in the middle of transitioning. He goes, so you don't mind if I touch you? Because, of course, they want to do the same gender if you're going to be, touching things. And I was like, nope, not at all. I really didn't mind. And it was pretty, actually it was pretty affirming to have a dude that just, I told him I was transitioning. He's like, all right, we're going to pat you down. You're good. You're not a risk. That was pretty awesome. I went, to a couple different places this weekend. Every time, whether mask was on or mask was off, my experience was, have you been assisted yet, sir? How can I help you, sir? Sir, is it okay if I seat you here? I remember back in the day where someone would say sir, and I get so offended because, I wasn't even aware myself of the transition that was to come in the future. I used to be like, why can't they tell I'm a female? Da, 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 da. And I realized, well, because you dress like a dude. So now that I'm wanting to be addressed as a dude, there's been a couple times, like, hey ladies, what can I get you if I'm with some friends? But for the most part, more often than not, lately I've been getting, again, hey sir, can I get this for you, sir? Thank you, sir. And with other dudes, so I stopped at a rest stop and I thought, oh goodness gracious, I thought it was uncomfortable going into the women's restroom for all these years, but I go into the men's stall, and bleeding, because it's that monthly time. And I thought, how do I do this? Is such it's like a mind blown, right? So I hurry into the bathroom, and as I'm walking, some guy sitting out there saw my truck, and he's like, hey, Batman. And I was like, don't talk, your voice is going to give you away. So I just, wait, and he's like, that's cool on your truck, man. And I was like, yeah. And then just went to the bathroom. Well, of course, there's no trash cans. There's no, I'm just like, how do I change? Oh my goodness. Okay. So at least not in the stall, right? So you got to somehow figure out how to get it out of the stall without it. So some guy comes walking in and I hear him talking. But when I first walked into the stall and I closed the door, it's just a horribly inappropriate drawing in Sharpie. There was more along the lines of pedophilia. And I just thought, is this what dudes do? First of all, dudes, let me tell you, your bathrooms are disgusting. Like, it's just trash and filth, and I'm sure feces somewhere on the floor. And I'm like, oh my gosh, ladies, you got it right. Like, y'all pick up after yourself mostly. But there's no really gross Sharpie drawings on the backs of the stalls. I might say for a good time call, but anyway, I thought, oh my gosh. So some guy comes in, he's talking on his cell phone. I thought, well, I can't come out. I can't come out because if I come out and he knows I'm not, I'm not fully transitioned or, whatever, right? All the panic thoughts, right? Like all the anxiety and all the worry. And so instead of facing that head on, I just waited until he left. Because apparently from what I'm reading, right? Because I always got to do some research online. So what I'm reading is a lot of dudes, sit to pee anyway. So sometimes the anxiety about the stand to pee and some of the prosthetics that trans men or trans masculine men use so that they can pee standing up. I have not, I've not tried any of those out, so I'm definitely not an expert on any of that. But apparently even cis men tend to sit more often, than I thought. And they don't wash their hands, but that could just be like the people that were in there. So I don't want to generalize too much. But I'm just floored. Like, I mean, I get it's a rest stop, but they get cleaned, on a schedule. And I just, oh my gosh, it was disgusting. I could not get out of there fast enough. Just, yeah. So the SIR was awesome. I got to finish my third class, with Cornell. I have one left. It starts on September 1st. Looking forward to finishing my certification in diversity and inclusion. And I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot on analyzing and then what to do with that information, to make improvements. Not just in my direct team or with, being any sort of leader or supervisor or manager, but also an organization wide. And so it's really piqued my interest. I'm very, very excited to be able to start implementing some of these things just within my own team. That I'm on just even in our meetings, being able to make sure that people aren't talked over and people aren't interrupted and or made to feel like their opinion doesn't matter, and to be all inclusive. And so it's been a really cool experience. There's been some amazing professors online. And then they also do video clips of folks who, these women that are in these, global positions, as directors, for diversity and inclusion. And it's, man, the amount of education and knowledge that they have. I just sit there like, teach me more. So it's been pretty cool. It's been a pretty cool experience. I think that's really all the updates that I have. Testosterone and cycles. Yeah. Cross your fingers for me, cross your toes, something. I would like to be able to be done with this, at some point. But yeah, so I did want to ask if there was anyone who had any questions that I can field for next Monday. Go ahead and message me, or whether it's a comment or whether it's a private message. Either way, I'm good. But let me know if we're looking at answering some questions or even doing another live. So this is Colston signing off. Have a good night.